With the 52nd overall pick at the 2021 NHL entry draft, the Islanders selected Aatu Ratu from Karpat. Now, this was a consensus, at least top 10, if not number one overall pick, that fell all the way to 52. What happened? And should Islanders fans be worried? Like I always say, hit the subscribe button, don't miss a video, then head over to Twitter and follow at @TLOMitch. That's me. Don't miss any breaking information about Islanders prospects I haven't yet had a chance to cover on the channel. With the 52nd overall pick at the 2021 NHL entry draft, the Islanders took Aatu Ratu, who has fallen from what was a lofty position right just a couple of years ago, even last year. This guy was a top 10 number one overall possible pick. Fell all the way to 52. What the heck happened? Did he just start ringing up every single scout and GM out there and start telling them off? No, he just had a bad year. That's really it. It really comes down to he didn't have a very productive year at the finish level. He put up 6 points in 35 games for Karpat. That's it. That's the story. Really, that's what it is. It only comes down to that. He didn't have a good year. So he had a bad year. Is that really it? We're going to sink a kid who has top 10 potential all the way to 52nd overall because he's got one bad year? And how bad was it relative to the rest of his year? And should we really be concerned about it? So to figure out if it was bad relative to everything else, what it is, I took NHLE. Those are translation factors. And what they do is they essentially boil down how much 1 point is worth in every single league under the sun compared to the NHL. So putting up a point at the U16 level in Finland, how does that translate to an NHL standard? And from there, you can build upon that and see how players are growing throughout their careers leading up to the NHL, of course. So I did that here for Aatu Ratu. And here's the graph. Now you can see it goes from 2016 all the way to 2021, which is all the information that we've got. And you can see that steady rise, and then it shoots up heading towards a 2018-19 season. And then it falls back down in 1920 to shoot right back up again. Right? So 1920 had a pretty good year, and then it falls in 2021. Now it falls to about half of what he did the previous season. And so he's got about 6. His NHLE in 2021 is about 6, where it was 12 the year prior. So that's a pretty big drop, right? He essentially cut his NHL potential in half in terms of production. But how much production are we talking about here? Honestly, it really comes down to 5 points. 5 or 6 points gets him back to where he was. We're going to sink this kid from a first round top 10 to second round because he didn't put up 6 extra points. That's it. That's all. He puts up 5 to 6 points extra last year. He matches his pace from the year prior, and he probably doesn't fall as far as he did. That's it. And I'm not counting international level here. I did not add international factors here at all. So there's what are we talking about here? How is this kid fall so far? He's not a character issue. He's not flawed, like hard flaw. His skating isn't great, but he can fix that easy. Everything else he's got top end skill, he's got top end vision, he can make plays, he can shoot the puck, he's got size. Yeah, he can't skate, but he's not the only kid out there who can't skate that well. And it's a mechanical issue when it comes to skating. He can fix that. I also wanted to compare Aatu Ratu to the top picked center from the 2021 NHL entry draft, and that was Seattle pick Matthew Beniers. I have a really hard time pronouncing that name, but it's Beniers. The more I say it, the easier it's going to be. And the reason I wanted to compare him is just say, okay, well, if Ratu is a second round pick or a second round center, how does he look compared to the top ranked center? So here's the same graph that I showed you earlier for Ratu, but I've added Matthew Beniers here as well. The red line here is Beniers, and you can see steady growth, unlike Aatu Ratu. So you can see why Beniers went over Ratu. But you can also see where Ratu, even just last year, was a higher ranked player than Beniers. So really, it really comes down to this year for Ratu. He fell so far in the draft simply because he didn't put up 5 to maybe 6 points last year. That's it. That's all. He puts those 5 to 6 points up, he's a first line talent. So should Islanders fans be worried? No. No, he's already at the summer showcase putting up 7 points in 3 games. 7 points in 3 games. We'll see once he gets to play against men at the Liga next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if this kid turns it on and everyone looks silly aside from Lou Lamoriello. Again, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. If you had, thank you, thank you, thank you.